Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday, July 17th. And today I am going to be talking about my progress on my 9x12 that I'm going to be putting out at the end of August. I'll be talking a little bit about the community and how that's been going, getting it all set up and running, and answering some questions that people have. So I am kind of dragging my feet on the whole prospecting for my next 9x12 because I'm still not sure how many spaces I actually need to refill. So this actually relates to one of the questions I got in my new school group from Jerry about retention rates. Apparently he's new to the 9x12. He's up in Seattle. He wants to get this going up there, and he's watched a whole bunch of videos from people on YouTube besides myself, probably Mitch, probably Jake. And one of the things he noticed is that people don't talk about repeat business that much. And so I figured I'd reply to him there, but I'll also make a video about this, because if he's asking that, there's probably a bunch of you out there that are probably thinking about the same thing when you're looking into this business model and how sustainable it is. So I'll say this about repeat business. It can be hard at first to find the right businesses that are open to repeating. You'll easily find at the price point that most of us do these ads at, $400 to $600 for the small spots, depending on if you're doing 5,000 pieces or 10,000 piece mailers, depending on your price point. Sometimes it can be easy to get that first sale, but the trap of that first sale is how you frame it to the customer, how you frame it to the advertiser. Because if they think that with their one ad, they will see an immediate return on their investment, they are setting themselves up for way too high of an expectation. And it's hard because that's the easiest way to sell it. Be like, hey, you're going to get on this card, you're going to be in 5,000 to 10,000 homes in your local area, and with the right offer, it only takes one or two to make it profitable for you. But if you even just say just one or two, now there's an expectation associated with, I'm going to put this card out, 5,000, 10,000 homes. There's got to be at least one person on there that's going to call me and take me up on my offer. But the fact is, they probably won't. The first card you put out is the hardest one for two different reasons. One, it's the first time for you to get advertisers on your card to work with you, to trust that you're actually going to do it, to go through the whole process, to design the ads, to print the stuff, to take it to the post office. All that stuff is hard on you. And then that makes it also hard on the business, because they have to trust that you're going to do all those things. But the third part that I guess a lot of us kind of overlook is that first mailing to your area that you're sending it to is the first time any of them are hearing about you. It's the first time any of them are seeing this big postcard in their mailbox. They are trained to just throw away anything in the mail that isn't something they ordered from Amazon or something they ordered from Etsy. They are mentally not prepared to look at their mail. They have already built a block up in their mind that it's either just credit card offers or bills or things that I don't want to look at when I go to the mailbox. They already have a relationship there that isn't, they're not looking to be advertised to in their mailbox. And the first time that they are, and the first time they see your card, yes, it might stand out because it's different. And yes, some people might hold on to it a little bit longer because they haven't seen something like that before. But they're not immediately going to grab that card and be like, oh yeah, that's right, I wanted to like install a pool at my house. Let me call this guy and get on the phone and spend $40,000 with them. They're not going to pick up that card and immediately say, oh, you know what? My AC has been acting up a little bit lately, but instead of, waiting like I've been doing for the past 2 months, I'm just going to call this company right now and have them come out and replace my unit for $4,000. The customers receiving your card the first time are not likely to do those actions immediately, because that's just not how advertising works. How many times do you drive by a billboard on the side of the road, which I'm doing right now on the highway, 20 times a day, and never call any of those businesses that are advertising on those billboards that you're seeing 20 times a day, multiple times per week? So it's easy to think that if I just put this in front of enough people, somebody will respond the first time. But it's not likely. So the trick of the business is that you need to find businesses that are interested in that type of advertising, because it's very specific. It's direct mail, and it should be direct response. That's the nature of what we want it to be, and that's the nature you need to approach your ads with, is that you want to encourage a immediate response from the person receiving the card for each of your ads. And that comes into your ad design, that comes into a lot of different things at play to make their ad stand out and inspire an immediate response. And there's a lot of things you can do to that. There's a lot of things that we'll probably go through as we continue to talk about these things on the channel. But what you need to do is consider that the first time a person's going to receive this in the mail, it's not going to hit the same way the second or third or fourth card hitting the same mailbox every quarter will have. Because there's, certain rules in business that people talk about in books all the time. I think one thing is like you need like at least 7 exposures of your whatever it is in front of a person for them to build enough trust in order to take the next step with you. And that next step might not be a sale. That next step might just be a call. That next step might just be an email. That next step might just be a scan of the QR code. But it takes multiple exposures even to get to that first nudge along the path. And so when you're talking to your prospective advertisers and telling them, hey, this is going to this many homes, even if you just get one, that would pay for everything. As soon as you just hint at, potential response, they're going to love it. They're going to be like, okay, I see the value of it immediately and jump on. But in their mind, in the back of their mind now, they're asking, when is this mailing going out? I want to know exactly who's receiving it. I want to know so I can see when I get that phone call coming in, I'm going to know it's from you guys. And I'm going to ask them, hey, how did you hear about me? And they're going to expect that they're going to have, 20 calls because you're going to like 5,000 to 10,000 homes. But the fact is they're probably not. And I know this because my advertisers ask me the same thing, and they say the same thing to me. They say, oh man, I haven't received a single call. I haven't received so much as a text. I haven't seen any business come from this. And that's your first hint that one of two things happened. Either you didn't frame it properly when you were pitching it to them, or maybe they just had, unfair expectations of their own going into it. But what it really tells you is that this company isn't probably a good fit for this kind of advertising, or you just need to, change the ad, make it more direct response related. which there's a lot of tricks you can do with that. You can, call out pain points. You can give them easy actions to take and treat it less like an advertising thing and more like a curiosity thing to kind of hook people into what your advertiser is offering and have them have more of a response to the pain point rather than just having the call to action just be, hey, call this pool service company and get them out to service your pool for this much money. Finding a way to be like, hey, how do you know if your pool is safe for swimming after being winterized all the time or whatever? Scan this QR code for a quick questionnaire and we'll help you find out. You'll get a lot more response to that. It might not be the same kind of response as, somebody that's like, oh, hey, I saw your ad and I want to take you up on that coupon offer. But you might get more responses, and then that can develop the relationship between the advertiser and the homeowner that you sent the postcard to. But all of these things are factors in to that repeat business equation. And I don't think I have my first card that I put out handy so much anymore, but I can tell you from my last mailing that I did who are my repeat advertisers and who are going to be repeating already on the next one. So first off, we got this big guy here, does awesome work, super involved on Instagram, always promoting stuff, super busy guy. And he's got a whole crew, bunch of trucks, doing probably like 3 or 4 jobs a day across the whole county that we're in. And every single card I do, he was the easiest sale I made also. I called him, told him the deal. He's like, wait, for that much? Yeah, for sure. I just need to know that you're not a scammer or whatever, but yeah, I'm good to go with this. Designed the ad, sent it over to him, gave me a thumbs up. You got a single ad the first time, upgrade to double ad, and I already reached out to him again. He said, yeah, put me on for the next card you do, for sure. We got Superior Painting, so he's the guy that did my drywall repair, so he's going to be on the next 2 cards because we did a barter, so he'll be repeating from that. He did mention that he has not received a single call from the last ad, so I'm going to probably work on his ad a little bit, maybe do some more, like what I just said, making more direct responsive, curiosity-based, that kind of thing, run it by him. Because when advertisers see an ad like this, they love it. They think it's super cool. They love seeing their brand. They love seeing their branding. They love seeing that. But that might not be what actually inspires a response from the homeowner that you reach. So you have to think in 2 ways. You have to think of what the advertiser wants to see, because they love seeing their brand. They love that ego boost of like seeing their brand nice and big on there. But that adds probably very little value to the actual homeowner that receives it. Like Superior Painting, there's 100 different companies with like All Best or whatever kind of names in their branding. So it's good for brand exposure, but that kind of thing needs more repeated exposure to be like, oh yeah, those guys, man, I've seen them a couple times on this card. You know what? I haven't gotten around to it yet, but you know what? I see that offer right now. All right, cool. I'll call it. So that might take multiple exposures to get that same ad responded to. This is my little ad that I did this time. Similar offer to what I did last time. I got no response the first time, no response this last time. I didn't sell out my card last time, so that's why I threw one of these spots on here for me. Didn't work, but it's more of a business offer than a residential offer anyways, and I could probably work on my own, call to action on there too. This guy down here, mortgage lender, or mortgage broker. He's an old friend from high school. He saw my ad on Instagram. He was like, oh yeah, man, put me on a double spot. I want to be on that card. I want to be on every card you put out. Because for them, it's just exposure. They just need to keep their name out there. They just need to keep hitting those same houses every so often. he gave me his ad design, so he didn't even have a QR code on there. I was further closer to the deadline, so I don't have time to work with him on his ads so much to add that kind of thing in there. But his kind of thing would definitely work well with a curiosity based hook. Like, are you paying too much on your mortgage rate right now? Right now, it's not probably the right offer because mortgage rates are high, so nobody's looking to refinance or anything. But over time, he can assist, like, hey, do you need a second opinion on your mortgage that you're looking at right now? Just scan this and we'll have a conversation. That might work better than something like this that is just informational and less direct responsive. Somebody might read through all of this kind of detail while they're like standing next to the trash can deciding, do I hold this? Do I throw this? What do I do? But they might not actually respond to it right away. But he's the right kind of person you want because he already knows the name of the game is repeat exposure. He knows that direct mail, doing it himself, like an ad this size, 4x6 ad as a single postcard, would set him back thousands of dollars to reach 5 to 10,000 homes. And he's getting on there for like $1,000. So that's the kind of person that understands direct mail, the usual costs, and just needs to just have that repeat exposure out there. So he's going to be repeating on it. We also have a specialty card for my networking group that we're going to be putting together that has all real estate people on it. I'll be happy to share once I talk to them more. We get it all kind of ironed out and give their approval to share it on YouTube and whatever. But yeah, so that's those. Let's see. And we got this guy up here, Buy Gold. I got his phone number wrong. That should be a 1 at the end instead of a 7. So he's going to be on my next card because I need to make it right. So he's riding along for free. He's another guy that said, I didn't get any calls. Once he saw the card then in the pack that I shipped him, he was like, well, that's why I didn't get any calls. You had my wrong number on there. Man, this is the worst. Blah, blah, blah. So we're setting him up, going to redo his ad and everything. Maybe we'll make that QR code a little more direct responsive. Like, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what gold you got. You got silver record prices, whatever. Something about that. So maybe that'll inspire more things because that branding up there, it's another thing. It's great for the ego of the business. They love seeing their brand big and bold, but that matters very little to the person receiving the card. The person receiving the card is probably actually looking down here at their address and be like, that's nowhere near me. Why am I going to call this guy? Like I have like 20 different pawn shops in between like me and that guy. And so I probably need to work on this guy's ad too. Now that I'm having it more in my mind about what I need to do. On the back, I got this one, business directory resource, because, well, I didn't sell enough spaces, so I had to fill it with something. So I figured this would help make it a sticky factor. It's got like a whole little calendar of events. It's got, you know, public school numbers and parks rec numbers, whatever. That's cool. But I got a few scans of the QR code. It's more of something to get people to hold on to the card a little bit longer. This guy was new. I designed an ad for him for social media, and then when I wasn't filling up enough spots, I was like, hey man, you want to be on the card? It's this much. And he said, yeah, sure, let's do it. I don't think he got much response. I think he maybe had like 1 or 2 scans of the card, but I don't know if that turned into any deals. I have to give him a call and see. And that goes back to another thing with the repeat advertisers. How you communicate is key. How you talk to your advertisers throughout the process is huge, because that's building their trust in you and your relationship and their expectation out of you. Because if you just like take their money, send them a proof of the ad design, and then you don't say anything else to them except be like, all right, I dropped off the cards, and then you ghost them for like another, you know, several weeks or months before it's time to refill, you might not have as great of a repeat business offer. One of the things that I saw from a PS guy on Mitch's community on the interview he did with him, which is great interview, by the way. Definitely go check that out, because that guy is crushing it with all of this, especially repeat advertisers. I saw he had like an 80 to 90% retention rate. So he directly speaks to that on the call. That was actually my question for him, a month or two ago, because that was on my mind as well. Getting repeat advertisers is key to the business. But he talked about, in response to my question, he was like, you just talk to them. Like, as soon as the card goes out, you call and be like, hey man, I got this card out. Are you ready to go on the next one? Instead of waiting like I do. I'm terrible at this. I need to get better at it. I send out the cards. I wait to see like how many scans all the things get, so I can have that in my conversation when I talk to them again. But it's much better to just be like, hey, I got this card out. I'm going to be doing the next one here. Are you in? Before the card has even like had time to get responded to. So that sets the expectation, like, this is just for the exposure. It's not related to your response at all, whether you decide to do it again. It's just about the exposure. So you want to keep that communication key with all your advertisers throughout the whole process. So as I was talking about this guy, so he advertised my last card. I haven't really followed up with him since then. I did send him some of my QR code tap review cards, so he can get some more reviews, because he only had one review on his Google page so far. So I also wanted to follow up with him about that. So that gives me an opening to have a conversation, see if he wants to do it again, let him know the neighborhood, see if it works for him. This guy is another new one. They responded to a Facebook ad that I ran. They were working on their branding, and so they ended up just taking a small spot last time. I reached out to him. I sent him like my thank you packet and everything, and I got it back undelivered. It said problem with the address or something. So he sent me a new address. I still have to send it back in the mail. I just haven't had the time to go to a post office to drop it off, ironically enough. But I told him where I'm going to be doing my next card to, and so he sounded interested in at least the Pinecrest portion. Maybe not doing the Palmetto Bay again, but we'll see. So it's just another thing. You got to just keep talking to these people. Keep putting it out there. On the other side, let's see. Oh, and then, all right, so that takes care of that top row there. Down on the bottom side over here, neighborhood fish farm. That's my family's business. We're always looking to get more exposure into high-end neighborhoods that are likely to have ponds, high-end fish tanks, all that kind of stuff, featuring all of our tropical fish for aquariums and ponds. So I just put them up to whatever ad size fits, depending on what other spots I'm able to sell out. And I don't know what kind of response rate they've gotten from it, but I figure for them, it's just another one of those things. You just want to be top of mind. We're kind of the only real big fish farm in South Florida that's open to the public, with all those ponds are like full of different tropical fish for aquariums. So it's a very unique kind of offering too. So when people see that, it stands out. It looks unique. Creates and scans. I think they actually got like 2 or 3 scans maybe of their QR code that I put on there last time, which again goes back to link track and QR code tracking. Just using it for your own data and knowing like what's working in your ads that's getting people to scan it. Less so about the actual response, but more about, for your information, how your ads are inspiring people to interact with it. So that's just a little tip in the back of my mind. This guy, Alberto Perdomo, he's my insurance adjuster guy, old friend of mine for probably about 15 years or so now. He helped me out with some insurance issues that I had, came out, did all the work with me, got us a good deal. And so when I was like giving him the check for his portion of the settlement, I just like showed him my card. He's like, oh man, I want to be on that. I'll do that right now. I'll take the big spot. And he's repeated every time since. So you'll notice there is a theme about the people that are repeating. It's some of them are my friends that I've known for a long time. And that is key to the business. Those relationships that you build are key. So the less you can have advertisers that are clients, and the more you can like build relationships with them, be friends with them, the more you can have that, the better. So yeah, that tends to be the theme around it. You have good relationships with the advertisers, they're more likely to repeat. So, and that comes down to also your ad design, your communication, all those kind of things definitely factor into your relationship with them. Hey y'all, I decided to cut the video there because I started talking about a whole nother topic and it would have made the video almost an hour long. So I decided to cut it here, and then I'll upload part 2 where I mostly talk about the EDDM tools side of the updates, what's going on in that side of the world. So for those of you that just wanted to know about my 9x12 side of business, that'll end this video here. But if you want to know more about the tools, stay tuned for the next video because I'll be talking about a bunch of cool stuff, including Mitch's new our local spotlight tool. I've been able to test it out, love it, think it's awesome. But I'll be diving more into that on my next video, so check that out as soon as it drops. But thanks for watching this one. Be sure to like and subscribe, help me get to 500 subscribers next. Thank you for everyone that's gotten me up to over 300 now. It's awesome to see, awesome to connect with you. You can head over to eddmschool.com and join the free community over there. We can stay connected there in the meantime. But thanks again for watching. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the community. Alright, take care. Bye.